King Ray Ray in this bitch.
N8, appreciate the $5 super chat. Perfect time for this. Salute to King Ray Ray. Salute to you, brother. J Lax, salute to you, bro. Appreciate the super chat. Salute to the kingdom. Appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Now, another thing is this, man. No one can judge your journey. No one can judge your journey. No one knows what you've gone through. Even if you tell them, they can hear it, but they don't know it. They know the story of it. But no one knows what you've gone through. No one can judge your story. But let me tell you what can judge your story. Your honesty. You got to be honest with yourself about your effort. If you know you're not giving optimal effort, you got to be honest with yourself about it. You got to keep it a buck with yourself about whether you're giving optimal effort or not. That's what you have to do. Because if you're not honest with yourself about the level of effort you're giving, you're going to fail anyway. Because if you don't check yourself about your effort, you're not going to give optimal effort, and everything you do is going to falter and fail. That's why people's life goes up and down on a roller coaster. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're bad, you're high, you're low. You're satisfied, you're dissatisfied. Why is that? Because many men give optimal effort, and then when they attain a level of success, their effort falls off because they're too busy trying to enjoy that level of success. Well, here's the thing. You only get to enjoy a level of success when you're done. When you get to the final goal, when you get to the final destination, enjoy it. If you're not the final destination, don't enjoy level 2. When you got to go to level 10, why are you sitting there wasting time on level 2? You ain't did nothing. Level 2 don't even represent optimal effort. If you got to get to level 10, it takes at least level 5 to represent optimal effort. So you see, man, they're doing good and they're doing bad, they're doing good, they're doing bad, but their high level never gets any higher. So they go to level 2, ball out again, fall back off. They go to level 2, ball out again, fall back off. They go to level 2, start lollygagging again, fall back off. You have to give optimal effort every single day of your life. GC, salute. You have to make sure that you clear everything out of your life that's causing you to not to give optimal effort. That's why we're so big about this marriage thing. A woman has to be inducive and conducive to you giving optimal effort in order for her to even be around. A woman who's too demanding of your time, you can't get optimal effort with that woman. She's going to interfere with your energy that it takes to give optimal effort. A woman who wants you to focus on what she's doing, you can't get no, man, you can't give optimal effort with that woman. A woman who's absolutely emotionally needy, you can't get optimal effort with that woman. A woman who blows through money, you can't give optimal effort with that woman. You got to be too busy trying to watch the money. She has to fit into the process of your progress. That's the only way you can guarantee that she's not going to interfere with your capacity to give optimal effort to the things that you need to give optimal effort to. Because here's the thing, her efforts don't count. All she has to do is not interfere with your ability to give optimal effort. That's a woman's only job, not interfere with you giving optimal effort. Make transition into your life and smooth out a couple of rough patches. You understand? Because I'm going to be honest with you. When you're on the grind doing your thing, man, hey, a loving hug, a loving kiss, man, a loving plate of food in front of you, man, a loving back rub, man, all of those things. And, of course, some loving. All of those things help enhance your ability to give your most optimal effort when you are at battle. But here's the thing. If you got a woman in your life, she's not giving you that, get rid of her. Because you can have optimal effort by yourself. Hey, that's the thing about giving optimal effort. If men stop focusing on all of these other things, stop focusing on the result and focus on optimal effort, then you'll keep your life clean from the things that are going to interfere with that capacity. Because we can't afford to do that. As men, we can't afford to allow anything to interfere with our ability to give our optimal effort to our own lives, because it's the only life we got, and our effort is the only effort that is going to make it improve. Nobody else's effort is going to make your life improve. Unless you're giving optimal effort and their effort enhances your ability to give that effort. But if you don't give your life optimal effort, there's nothing anybody else can do to help your life improve. The foundation of your life improvement is for you to give optimal effort at everything. Give optimal effort in everything. Right now, I'm giving you guys optimal effort. This is optimal effort. Vincent, appreciate the super chat, bro. Blessings. Bless up to you. Another thing is this. Let's stop talking about strengths and weaknesses. Let's talk about strengths and those things that need our strengths to make them stronger. We don't have any weaknesses. We have strengths. These things that are extraordinary compared to everyone else. These things are extraordinary. So what we have to do is use our strengths to bring our normalcies up to equal level. You don't have strengths and weaknesses. You have strengths that can stand alone, and you have normalcies that need your strength to help bolster them up to the level of your strengths. So all you have is strengths. Everything you have is a strength. It's just that some strengths are strong enough to help other strengths be as strong. Everything you have is a strength. It's kind of like this. If we're working out and we benching 315, and then we go to 350, and then we go to 375. Well, if you bench press 375 for 10 reps, but I go on up to 415 and I bench press 415, but you can't get 415, are you not strong? Does that mean you're weak? Or does that mean you're strong? And if you can get 375, I bet if I spot you, you can get 415. That's my strength enhancing your strength. Why? Because you're giving optimal effort on the 375. And I know when you get under the 415, you're going to give it optimal effort. You giving it optimal effort means all I have to do is finger spot you on a couple of reps and maybe really spot you on the last one. Why? Because you're giving optimal effort. Why are you giving optimal effort? Because you know that my strength is going to be used to help your optimal level strength get over the hump. Now, that's how you use your strengths in your life. You take your strengths and you take your optimal level strengths and use them to push your other strengths over the hump. This is not about being weak. We're not weak men. We don't have any weaknesses. We have things that we need to improve, but those aren't weaknesses. Those are things that we can make better. Even our strengths can be better. Another part of this equation is you got to remember your best effort is all you have. When you strip a man down to his very least compound, take the cars, take the clothes, take the jewelry, take the women, take the paper, take everything, take every man's crib, take all your cars, take everything away and stand us all in a line. All we all have is our very best effort. That's the only thing you got in life. So if you're not using that, you're not using anything because you ain't got nothing else. All you have is your very best effort. And so you better use it, because not using it means that you are losing it. You cannot waste your time acting like you can afford to not do your best. Because if you're not doing your best, you're not doing nothing. The only thing that counts is when you give optimal effort. That's the only thing that can affect your outcomes in a positive manner. Any other effort is suboptimal, subpar, subprime. It is not going to work. It is not going to work. And maintaining the position we're in is not our mission. Growth is our mission. Growth in every way. Fiscal growth, spiritual growth, physical health growth, mental health growth. All of these areas are growing the kingdom, growing the atmosphere, growing our small inner circle. This is about growth. That's all it's about. And you can't grow if you don't give optimal effort. I want you to go out there and plant something. Plant anything. Plant anything. Plant some daffodils. Plant some roses. Plant some Mary Jane. Plant anything. And I'm going to tell you the truth. When you plant it, if you don't cultivate it and nurture it correctly, it is not going to grow. You have to do everything optimally in order for it to grow, in order for it to reach its full potential. That's everything in life. You have to do everything optimally in order for it to reach its full potential. And that goes for you and your goals and aspirations as well. TA, appreciate the super chat, brother. Optimal effort message struck the chord I need today, man. Optimal effort alone. God bless you. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate that. Now, when you understand that your best effort is all you have, then anytime you don't give your best effort, don't complain about the outcomes. If when you give a subpar effort, you will get a subpar outcome. You didn't complain about giving a subpar effort, so do not complain about the subpar outcome. I'm going to let that one stick with you. Do not complain about the subpar outcome when you give a subpar effort. You deserve a subpar outcome for a subpar effort. You even deserve for your outcome to be even more subpar than your effort when you don't give 100% hardcore effort. Man, you got to give optimal effort to life, man. Optimal effort. You have to, brothers. Top of the year, man, my numbers fell off. BOA channel, my numbers fell off top of the year. I crossed over that 100K subscriber barrier, man, and I promise you, fell off a cliff. Literally fell off a cliff. Hit it fast, man. I literally didn't hit 110 until February, like the middle of February. I hit across 100 in January. Matter of fact, I hit across 100 right before. I hit across 100. I didn't let it out until I hit 100, until I hit maybe 102. But I hit 100 before the year turned, and it took me all the way to like February the 16th or 17th to hit 110. I fell off a cliff, but you know what? I kept grinding. I kept giving optimal effort. I couldn't let those arbitrary numbers bother me because everything else was going to be affected by my optimal effort. That number didn't affect anything. My optimal effort, if I had fallen off my effort, everything else would have fallen off a cliff too. So you can't let anything, even if it doesn't look good, make you stop giving optimal effort. Because my effort affected many more things than that. So optimal effort, I kept giving it. Daily content. All through the rest of the year, daily content. Stop focusing on that number, and that number took care of itself. Looked up, hey, wonderful. But everything else kept chugging along like it was supposed to. Why? Because I continued to give optimal effort. You have to give optimal effort, man. When you're dieting the way I'm dieting, slow dieting, man, slow cutting, 2 pounds, maybe sometimes 3 pounds a week, maybe 2.5, but mostly 2 pounds, maybe 1.8 pounds, 1.5 pounds sometimes. Just a slow cut, very slow process, because I don't want to lose any muscle. I got to give optimal effort. I cannot afford to have a day where I just go eat whatever I want to eat, because I'm only cutting to lose at a max 2 pounds a week. If I just do what I want to do, I might gain 2 pounds in a week. You see what I'm saying? Optimal effort is what you have to give, man. That's your job. It's your job to give off. Man, listen, if you ride on the back of the garbage truck, let me tell you something. Man, you better be setting them garbage cans back up right how they supposed to be, man. You better make sure you don't leave no trash on the ground or nobody's yard that came out of the can you just dumped, man. And don't hold the truck up. Get out there and give it optimal effort. Whatever you're doing in life, you got to give it optimal effort, man. Because you're not going to be able to see the potential, and you may burn a bridge. There may be somebody watching you, ready to give you the opportunity of a lifetime. But they'll look for somebody who they can tell gives optimal effort. No one has ever looked at anyone and said, I started to give you an opportunity, but you work too hard. You give too much effort. I need someone who gives less effort than you. No one says that. No man has ever said, man, I hate my woman. She give optimal effort. No coach has ever said, I hate my point guard. He gives optimal effort. That's all you have is your effort, man. And you owe this to yourself. But not just to yourself, you owe it to the world. You owe it to the world for them to have the experience of knowing and learning and seeing the very best version of yourself. And you can only do that by giving the creation of that version of yourself your optimal effort. You have to give that optimal effort. You owe it to the world, man. How you going to get a world, man, a sawed off, half-breed version of yourself, man? Get a world, the real you, the true you, the one that can bless people, man. That's the you that you're supposed to get a world. That's the you you're supposed to give yourself, man. That's the only you got. The other stuff, man, that ain't the real you. Somebody asked me in a comment, man, how do you maintain masculine frame while you're working around women? I don't even understand the comment. What do you mean, how do you maintain masculine frame? What are you doing, faking it? If you faking it, you can't maintain it. Frame is who you, there ain't no such thing as frame. Who frame what? Your mind frame should be based on who you are as a man, not something you're trying to play with and trying to be a certain way because you're around certain people. You owe it to yourself in the world, man, to give your most optimal effort out here. How you gonna do anything less? See, the only way you can dictate anything in your life is to give optimal effort. And when we hear God bless a child that's got his own, that's own lane, own space, own ideas, own energy. It has nothing to do with materialistic stuff. God bless child that got his own path. Mama may have, and Papa may have, but God bless a child who's got his own. That's not a materialistic song. That's Mama's got her way. Papa's got his way. God bless a child that's got his own way. He's got his own path. He's got his own ideas. Got his own energy. Got his own effort. You can navigate this life relying on your own effort, and you can depend on it because it's going to show up every time. That's the life you need to be trying to live. That's the life we all need to be trying to live. That's the only life. There is no other life. That's it. There's nothing else. God bless the child who's got his own. In the kingdom, we've got our own. We got to make sure we keep our own. We got to make sure that the path we want to walk is the path that we set out before ourselves. And when we own that path, we got on our best path walking shoes. We got on our hiking boots, and we running through that thing, man. We're running through it like we running the 100-meter sprint, boy. We running through it. We give an optimal effort, brothers. That's our goal, to give optimal effort. You find two people that are married. That man has to give optimal effort to be the husband he's supposed to be. That woman has to give optimal effort to be the wife she's supposed to be. Otherwise, they're wasting their own time and one another's time. Any situation you put yourself in, you have to give it your optimal effort. If you know you're dealing with a woman, you know you have to be, you know what you're dealing with. You have to give optimal effort in dealing with her like she's a woman. You can't expect her to know what you know. You can't expect her to think how you think. How can you say that, she's a woman, you're a man, and y'all supposed to think the same? No, you have to be able to control the situation and give your optimal effort in controlling and dominating the situation, because that's what you need. That's what she needs. If you're a business owner, you have to go in there. You have to give optimal effort in the maintenance of the business. You can't let payday come, man, and people waiting on their check and you ain't got their check. If you're an employee, man, you got to give optimal effort. You can't have all the responsibilities. You ain't never finishing on time. You ain't showing up at work on time. You showing up late, leaving early, never meeting your deadlines and all that, man. That's not your optimal effort. If you're failing at something, you're not giving optimal effort. Optimal effort at the very least gets you progress. At the very least. And what is progress? Progress is the stepping stone, the ladder to success. Every little bit of progress is a step. So optimal effort gives you progress, which leads to success. Progress is success. Have I cut down to where I plan to be? Nope. Am I making progress? Yeah. A lot of it. A lot of it. B. Ross, appreciate the super chat. Salute King Ray Ray. The Bible's the most red pill book to buy. It is, brother. When people ask me for book recommendations, I'd be like, man, I don't read a lot of stuff outside of my interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read books on camera gear, on f-stop, aperture, how to make the most out of natural lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read books that I don't need to read self-improvement books. You understand what I'm saying? Like, not just have a whole pile of them, because there's only so many different things you can say about improving yourself. If you read 50 self-improvement books, I guarantee you, man, about 40 of them saying the exact same thing. So what you have to do, you have to read books that are specific to your life and the things that you're doing. So when guys ask for book recommendations, I'd be like, man, I mean, you got to read what works for you, bro. Where are you in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're 20, The books that I read right now aren't what you should be reading. You should be reading what I was reading when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? The things I read right now are based on the life that I've built, on the experiences that I've had. You just haven't had this much experience. So we're not going to, if you're 20, we're not going to read the same thing. But we shouldn't read the same thing. You shouldn't have to go to somebody else to see what book you ought to read. What are your interests? What things are you interested in? By the time you're 20, 21 years old, man, you should know who the hell you are, or who you want to be at least. Sam KR, appreciate the $50 sponsorship, my brother. Appreciate the knowledge, G. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate the sponsorship. Appreciate you being in the joint. So you got to think about it. God bless the child who's got his own, but you are responsible for deserving the blessings God has reserved for you. God has blessings reserved for you, but you got to deserve them. You don't just get to be born and be out here acting a fool and traipsing around and acting crazy and wasting time and think you're going to get those blessings. No, you have to put yourself in a position to be deserving of those blessings. That's your responsibility. And trust me, God has no problem with not giving them to you if you don't earn them. Earn the right to get the blessings that God has for you, man. Earn it. Because that is your responsibility. Because God ain't got to give you nothing. Don't owe you nothing for sure. You are responsible for deserving the blessings God has reserved for you. And this one, I started to do this one first, but I want to push it toward the end. Stop making excuses. A reason why you didn't do something is an excuse why you didn't do it. If something was your responsibility and you didn't do it, or you should just say, I didn't do it. When you go tell me, well, this happened and that happened, blah, nah, that's an excuse. If you didn't give optimal effort, there is no reason to not give optimal effort, only excuses. And excuses are self-abuses. Every time you make an excuse for yourself, you create an abuse for yourself. Because you are eliminating your propensity, your ability to achieve your goals. Because if you start accepting your own excuses for not giving optimal effort, before you know it, you're never giving optimal effort. And you got a laundry list of excuses why. There is no excuse. There is no reason. There is no logical explanation for not giving optimal effort. Even if you got a broke leg, you can give optimal effort with one leg. You have to look at your own circumstances and your own conditions and give optimal effort based on those circumstances and conditions. Because anyone else's circumstances and conditions don't matter in your life. If you're from the hood, yes, you can have a different background, a different outlook on life than somebody who was raised in the burbs with their mother and father in the house with them. But that's not your goal. It's not your goal to be what they are. It's your goal to make the most of your situation and take your strengths and create those, that balance by strengthening your normalcies up to equal level in your life, on your journey. Give optimal effort in becoming who you're going to become. Optimal effort is a universal theme, but it's an individual routine. So stop giving excuses, man. Excuses are slapping your own face. Who you gonna walk up to and say, man, you gonna look in the mirror and say, dog, why you keep looking at me like that? Pow, slap five from yourself? No, but that's what you do when you make excuses. You say, dog, man, why you ain't do what you're supposed to do? Pow, you slap yourself for not doing what you're supposed to do. But it's the right thing, because you're the one who's responsible for giving your best effort. And here's the thing, brothers. Stop thinking you have the rest of your life to do this. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You don't have any time to waste. None of us do. We got to capitalize on what we need to capitalize on. And we got to make sure that we build the life that we need to build. And the truth of the matter is this. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. We have to create that environment that puts us in the best position to win. And that is an environment in which you are giving optimal effort. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. GC, man, I appreciate you, man, being in the joint, man. My squad and solo, bro. Sam KR, again, man, I appreciate the $50 sponsorship of the show. All the other brothers with the super chats, all the support for the channel, man. I appreciate y'all sticking with me on this channel, man. This channel is closing in on 11,000 subs, man, which is phenomenal. And I do believe, man, like once I really finish up and go in and put the finishing touches on the album that's coming up after the mixtape, I have a lot more free time, man, to really dive into content on this channel. Because I mean, this is the channel, man. I mean, the BOA channel is great, but this, the King Ray Ray channel, this is the channel, brothers. Like, this is really the channel. This King Ray Ray channel is the one, man. Like, it's the one that will help us all reach the highest heights of our lives, man. Fudd, man, appreciate the super chat, bro. Yo, bro, this is my main issue. Thanks for this. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate that, man. So we're gonna head on out of here, brothers. Y'all keep grinding and growing. Put God first, and never let anyone stand in the way of you giving absolute. I mean, absolute, man. Absolute optimal effort. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Mike is so dope. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Let's get ready to head on out of here, man. Peace.